there, welcome back to Weaves of Waves. I'm waiting for my washing to be done, so I thought I'd give a brief thing what I've been learning. You see, I'm a psychic vampire, okay? Most of you know this. It's like I used to feed off energy, and I need to feed off energy. And when I started to look around, I realized that everybody else was feeding off energy too. So I don't feel that I'm the only psychic vampire, I'm just an aware one, which makes it it's like a sword. In other words, it can be used to heal or harm. And I found that you can feed like a teenager, which is just cause chaos and feed off the chaos. But you can also feed like a healer and feed off the grief and the pain and the suffering that goes around you. You feed with respect, and you feed with, it's kind of like a divine honor. It is your honor to serve. And that's how I went with the psychic vampire stuff. Now, you feed off thunderstorms, you feed off food, you feed off emotion, you feed off hugs. All of us do it. So when I say I'm a psychic vampire, I'm saying we are all psychic vampires, all right? So there's a negative connotation, right? Now, one of the things that people have questioned, I have questioned, is how do you defend yourself against a psychic vampire? And you know what? I was like, I don't know. If you put a shield at, I can feed off that shield. That shield tells me how tasty you are, what flavors you are, basically. So white light shields, bollocks, I can feed off that too. So, okay, that doesn't work. Okay, so if you put up an energy barrier and I'm feeding off energy, then that barrier is worthless. Right, so how do you actually defend yourself? Now, there's ways of going nova where you explode all your chakras and you just push everything that isn't yours away. Or you just leave the situation. So in other words, if somebody's feeding off you, you just walk away. But my comment to that would be that you are leaving someone else to be fed off. That person is hungry. You either feed them or you tell them to shut the fuck up and go and sit under a tree for a while. Okay, so take responsibility if you are aware of you being fed off. Right. Okay. Now, I am looking into ways where you can defend yourself and how to bring energy in and consume it. Now, it will become an energy battle. So in other words, if somebody's feeding off you, you drag their energy in. And you drag it in to the belly, which is your cauldron. And you can feed better and finer than ever before. And you can also feed off, when people are just throwing up with emotion. So all your empaths up there, I think the word empath and the word psychic vampire are probably blurred around the edges. They blur into one. I think most empaths need to feed. A lot of them get wiped out because they're not feeding strong enough. They're not feeding enough. Go and sit out under a tree. If you have an emotional thing that's going on, somebody's attacking you emotionally or unconsciously attacking you emotionally, you go sit out under a tree and regain your equilibrium. So that's kind of what we do as an empath and kind of what we do as a psychic vampire. So I'm not going to, the terminology here blurs into one. I'm talking about somebody who feeds off energy or somebody who reads off energy. I'm not sure there's much of a difference. But if you take in someone's energy to your belly, to your cauldron, and transmute it, right? Now, there is a way as a breath. I think it would defend you against a psychic vampire, and I not only think it would defend you against all your own negative thoughts. Your negative thoughts are entities. They go off, they get bigger and stronger, and they come back and they start hitting you. Those are your negative thoughts. This world is surrounded by people's negative thoughts. That's one. There's another thing out there that I'm learning about. It makes me sound like a crack-potted old woman, but there we go. I am learning about it. So empaths, you don't shield. Don't bother with shields. Don't bother learning all that crap about shieldings. It ain't going to work, right? You learn to take in energy. You learn to breathe. You breathe it in. And as you do, it's called reverse breathing. So you're extending so instead of, breathe it in, you extend your belly, you extend your gut. And you're actually breathing it in. And then you're bringing up your perineum to block it. You want to hold it in your belly. So you're holding in both sides. So you hold it into your belly and you say, I change it. I take the waveform. I don't care what the thought is. I'm taking the waveform. Now this basic exercise is tough for a psychic vampire to start latching onto you. You almost armor up, and I'm not sure how you armor up, but there is an armoring going on. You can't, going to play with this some more, but if you're interested, put some comments on the thread, and yeah, because I can't do this as a reel because it's too long. So put some comments on the thread if you're interested to know more. We're going to look at things to protect yourself from psychic attack. Protect yourself. The psychic attack is probably your own thought form, but if it isn't, then it's a real heavy hitter. It's like being hit in the face with a baseball bat. It really is like your own thoughts have come back to you manifold, big time. Anyway, if you want to know more, ask some questions. Take care. Love you lots. Bye now.